All right, guys. So I've sort of delivered this message here and there over the last few days, and indeed even before that. I'm going to do so again. This time, this is the primary focus of the entire piece here. So, as I've said before, it is not possible. Well, I actually go further than the title of this video. There are no MAGA Christians, because there is no such thing as a right-wing Christian. You cannot call yourself a Christian and be on the right wing. It's impossible, because you are literally destroying the most important tenets of Christianity. You can't do that. Like, that's the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life. So let's get a couple of things out of the way here. I'm an atheist. I don't ever hide that. In fact, it's part of my damn channel name. But that does not in any way mean that I can't cite factual data or factual scripture and information involving the most prominent figure of Christianity, Jesus Christ. Because my purpose is to show you that certain Christians are not actually Christians. They're fake. They're frauds. They're people who are, it's not about like being religious and like Jesus Christ. It's about tribalism. It's about, hey, this is my in-group. And although I obviously don't believe in any of it, well, other than there was a man named Jesus Christ, and he was probably a pretty good dude. I don't believe in any of the supernatural elements of it. Still, the entire purpose is to point out this is your view. This is your entire belief system. And to show you that it absolutely, completely contradicts one another. It's not possible to be a right-winger Christian, which is so, like, it blows people's minds, because somehow things have shifted, like, through a whole lot of propaganda, which seems to have worked, and like tainted the message. Like, there's a bunch of things that like the right have just piled on and tried to like somehow lump it in with Christianity, even though there is no fucking correlation. For example, abortion. This gets thrown in constantly as a religious thing. Did you know that the clergy used to be the very people who were responsible for delivering abortions? You've been lied to, people. Do your research. Anyhow, I'm not going to jump too much into this. I'm going to make my case, because there's actually quite a few things I want to go over here. So first, I'm going to play a video, and this is actual Christians, real Christians, by the way, calling out fake Christians. I'm not going to play the entire video. It's relatively long. I might jump around. I might just play the beginning. I don't know. Let's see how it goes.
Buckle up, folks, because today's story isn't about a quiet debate or some polite exchange of ideas. Nope. This is about receipts. And when I say receipts, I don't just mean screenshots or one-off quotes. I'm talking about centuries of Christian tradition, moral teaching, and lived experience. And the people pulling them out? Not academics in ivory towers or internet trolls hiding behind avatars. They're Christians. Real Christians. Pastors, theologians, and everyday believers who finally had enough of watching faith get hijacked by politics. And the target? None other than Charlie Kirk, the conservative firebrand who built his career mixing political ideology with religion until the two were almost unrecognizable.
Jesus rejects Christian nationalism, and the Bible's very clear about that. Jesus is not a mascot. He's a liberator of the oppressed. He reaches out to the most vulnerable. This is biblical. This is the gospel. This is real. And if we're going to follow Jesus, we need to follow him as the liberator of the oppressed, not as a mascot. I don't care how many crosses we route around our necks, right? I don't know how many times we've got flags waving at the same time and all that. Jesus rejected that outright in Nazareth. He rejected it numerous times. He rejected it when he came into Jerusalem on a donkey, said, I'm not going to be that kind of leader. Period.
Please just let me know what part of Charlie Kirk was godly. Because you guys, oh, he was a man of God and he lost his life and he was telling the truth. The truth of what? Was it when he said the LGBTQ community should be punished by unaliving? He called people of the community an abomination. Was it when he said that the Civil Rights Act was a mistake? Was it when he said that a few pew unalivings a year were an acceptable price to pay to keep your Second Amendment rights? Was it when he said that little girls who are raped should carry their rapist baby? Man, you guys are just really showing your asses today, aren't you? That's what you thought made him a man of God, and you want me to feel an ounce of sympathy? Not only did he say all those things, but he tried to back it up with scripture out of the Bible. He used the gospel as a weapon. And here you guys are, he's a man of God. He unalived, telling the truth. That's all he tried to do. He's the Martin Luther King. Huh? I am not safe around a lot of you.
Now, let's be clear. Christians are not celebrating his death. The overwhelming tone is grief, sadness, and a rejection of violence. But grief doesn't mean silence. And for many, this is the moment to say what they've held back for too long, that Charlie Kirk's rhetoric wasn't rooted in faith at all, but in a philosophy that stood miles away from the core of Christianity.
Jesus Christ would not have been a fan of Charlie Kirk, no matter how big a fan Charlie Kirk was of Jesus Christ.
You shouldn't just glaze over stuff. Just because a person has passed, we can be honest about how the person stood in the world.
American Christians hopping online to shame people for not having love and compassion and empathy and quoting Bible verses and saying that Jesus is king. I want to just take this moment to remind American Christians that Jesus was born in Bethlehem. See, I had the honor of actually visiting the church in which Jesus was born in Bethlehem. And this is actually the spot in the church where Jesus was born. I didn't just get to visit the church where Jesus was born. I lived across the street with a Palestinian Christian family that has been living there for hundreds of years, if not thousands. And I say this all to remind American Christians that Palestinian Christians are the direct descendants of Jesus Christ. And for the last 2 years, Palestinian Christians have been experiencing a genocide. They have been living under an Israeli occupation that is completely funded by the US, by your country, for the last 75 plus years. And you have been fucking silent. You are watching the extermination of the people, of the descendants of Jesus Christ. And it's not just Palestinian Christians. Palestinian Jewish people, Palestinian Christians, Palestinian Muslims are all descendants of Jesus Christ. And it's not just Palestine, it's Lebanon, it's Syria. There's Christians that also live on this land. In fact, there is a city in Syria that still speaks Aramaic, which is the language spoken by Jesus Christ. I know this might be a hard pill to swallow as an American Christian, but you are not the descendants of Jesus Christ. The people who live on this land in Syria, Lebanon, Palestine, they are actually descendants of Jesus Christ. And you have been silenced as the descendants of Jesus Christ have been colonized, have been violently murdered, are being exterminated right now. And you have the audacity to come online and lecture us about empathy and compassion while you have been silent for the last 2 years. Please spare us.
Charlie Kirk wasn't just a political.
All right, that's all I'm going to do with this one. If I remember, I will leave links for everything that I'm covering here, with the exception of the left-wing deal that I'm going to read next, because it's just AI. It's Google AI, which before people start whining, in my experience, is more accurate than nearly any single source. I've had very good results with it. So for any of you ad hominem lovers. If you find something inaccurate, then directly say what you find inaccurate, focus on the premises, and debunk them. Don't attack the source because that's weak as shit. I don't fly like that. And I'm just going to call you out for being a moron. So there were those were actually Christians, real Christians, telling you what it means to be a Christian. Now, obviously, I'm an atheist, as I already pointed out, but I don't have massive fucking friction with all Christians. I have friction with fake Christians that completely distort the actual message. This is another thing that gets me, and how you can tell it's tribalism and it's not real. Because I'm an atheist, I haven't read the Bible in probably 5-6 years. I've read the Bible, the King James Version, about 4 times back to front, and I can almost guarantee you, no, just about guarantee you, that I know more about the Bible than 90% of all Christians in the United States. That's all I need to say. And I would be more than happy to defend that one in person. In fact, we can run a live stream if you would like. Anyone. Well, you could have someone that's like a frickin' expert on Christianity, and obviously they're going to be able to defeat me. So my position is, I know more about the Holy Bible than 90% of all Christians in the United States. How we can determine that, I guess, is in the air, but I'll stand behind it. So, to be clear, if one person comes on and they happen to know more, that doesn't even come close to defeating my claim. Okay? So, my issue is tribal bullshit, to where you're actually like, it's in some ways it's worse than people who don't even believe, like myself, because you are using the indoctrinating power, the how people assign their identity to this belief system so strongly. You're using that to your advantage and twisting it toward hatred and spewing fucking garbage bullshit and lies just to like fucking spread fear mongering and fucking hate. Like, you're not a Christian, period. Like, end of discussion. Like, clearly. But I'm gonna provide more receipts on that here in a moment. Let me go ahead and jump into this next point. This is the part I was talking about. That's Google AI. Advocacy for the poor. Jesus consistently spoke on behalf of the poor, marginalized, and oppressed. He called for the wealthy to give up their possessions and give to the poor, a theme that has been cited as an early form of collectivist or socialist thought by some modern interpreters. Rejection of the status quo. Jesus frequently challenged the established religious and economic authorities of his day, which some compare to modern anti-establishment or revolutionary movements. Radical equality. His teachings and actions often promoted a vision of radical equality, challenging social hierarchies related to ethnicity, gender, and social status. Examples include his interactions with Samaritans, women, and outcasts like tax collectors and lepers. Nonviolent resistance. Jesus' teachings on nonviolence, such as turning the other cheek, are sometimes compared to modern nonviolent resistance movements, a tactic often adopted by left-leaning activists. I'll go ahead and point out the obvious additional one: love thy neighbor. Almost every single policy issue presented by at least the United States version of the right wing goes against all of this. There is no world where you can use mental gymnastics to act like this is your belief system. It's not. Like, if you're going to hold your exact same beliefs and believe in like MAGA shit, especially not even just right wing, but MAGA, which is like extremist fucking fascist level right wing. If you're going to try to hold both, if I'm assuming your Christianity is more important than your political leaning, you're essentially aligning yourself with Satan. Obviously, I don't believe in him, but you do. So, like, it makes no fucking sense. You're fake. You're all fucking fake. So stop pretending already. It's not like many people are fooled. You're stupid. All right, moving on. Next, I'm going to pull up an article. I'm not going to read the entire article, but I'm going to list the 20 quotes. Let me go ahead and pull it up here. Here we go. Jesus Christ. Oh, wait. Sorry, right-wing Christians. Jesus Christ is a liberal, and these 20 quotes prove it. If I forget to include these links, then just remind me, and I will put them up whenever I get time. Verily, verily, I say unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord, neither he that is sent greater than he that sent him. It's about an egalitarian society, obviously. Judge not, that ye be not judged, for with what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged, and with what measure ye mete, it shall be measured to you again. It's about being judgmental toward your neighbors. And why beholdest thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye, but perceivest not the beam that is in thine own eye? I'm not even going to, I could read and like include more shit, like my personal interpretation, but I really don't think I need to. These aren't extremely ambiguous. It's obvious. Like you don't need like an insane fucking IQ to understand this. They're all extraordinarily left wing. Extraordinarily. It's not like a close call. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. Behold the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feedeth them. Are ye not much better than they? He that is without sin among you, let him first cast a stone at her. But whoever has this world's goods and sees his brother in need and shuts up his heart from him, how does the love of God abide in him? Then Jesus went about all the cities and villages, teaching in their synagogues, preaching the gospel of the kingdom, and healing every sickness and every disease among the people. Even so ye also outwardly appear righteous unto men, but within ye are full of hypocrisy and iniquity. And found in the temple those that sold oxen and sheep and doves, and the changers of money sitting. And when he had made a scourge of small cords, he drove them all out of the temple, and the sheep and the oxen, and poured out the changers' money, and overthrew the tables, and said unto them that sold doves, Take these things hence, make not my father's house an house of merchandise. Quick break in here. The right wing, I shouldn't really need to like add a whole lot to this because of how obvious it is. They are the party of the elites. Donald Trump, like never, at least to my knowledge, never before done. Instead of cabinet members being like surrounding him during inauguration, it was a bunch of fucking oligarchs, a bunch of billionaires. He was essentially saying, look, you got me here, and I'm going to sell America to you. I'm going to give you everything you want. Literally the opposite of Christianity, obviously. Continuing. And again I say unto you, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God. That one's very popular, and I'm pretty sure none of you who claim to be Christians have forgotten it. Jesus said unto him, Thou shalt love thee, Lord thy God, with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment, and the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets. How about them immigrants now? And when thou prayest, thou shalt not be as the hypocrites are, for they love to pray standing in the synagogues and in the corners of the streets, that they may be seen of men. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward. They're basically describing you fake Christians. Like, obviously. But if ye had known what this meaneth, I will have mercy, and not sacrifice, ye would not have condemned the guiltless. But Jesus said unto them, They need not depart, give ye them to eat. And he said, Woe unto you also, ye lawyers, for ye laid men with burdens grievous to be borne, and ye yourselves touch not the burdens with one of your fingers. For unto whomsoever much is given, of him shall be much required, and to whom men have committed much, of him they will ask the more. Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. For I am hungered, and ye gave me meat. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, and ye took me in. Naked, and ye clothed me. I was sick, and ye visited me. I was in prison, and ye came unto me. Then shall the righteous answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we thee and hungered, and fed thee, or thirsty, and gave thee drink? When saw we thee a stranger, and took thee in, or naked, and clothed thee? Or when saw we thee sick or in prison, and came unto thee? And the king shall answer and say unto them, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren, ye have done it unto me. Then shall he say also unto them on the left hand, Depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels. For I was an hungered, and ye gave me no meat. I was thirsty, and ye gave me no drink. I was a stranger, and ye took me not in. Naked, and ye clothed me not. Sick and in prison, and ye visited me not. That's going to be the end of this one. Let me point out, just again, very fucking obvious, and I'm pretty sure even you fake Christians know it. You just don't want to admit it. He's describing the hypocrisy, the fucking fake fucking shit, like how, like right now, MAGA and Donald Trump are literally like trying to declare war on the impoverished, which, by the way, are impoverished in large part due to Donald Trump's actions. He's trying to condemn them for something that he caused. Obviously against Christianity. I literally just covered it. There is no such thing as a right-wing Christian. They are fake. Moving on, we're going to go back. We're going to deal with the leader himself, the person behind this huge Christian nationalist movement, and the pinnacle of my evidence that they're all fake Christians. Donald Trump, obviously the architect, or at least the face of the movement. Obviously, he's got to be a real Christian, right? He's got to be an expert in Christianity, right? Surely. Let's see.
Okay. You mentioned the Bible. You've been talking about how it's your favorite book. And you said, I think last night in Iowa, some people are surprised that you say that. I'm wondering what one or two of your most favorite Bible verses are,
Well,
and why.
I wouldn't want to get into it because to me that's very personal. You know, when I talk about the Bible, it's very personal. So I don't want to get into verses. I don't want to get into.
There's no verse that means a lot to you that you think about or cite,
The Bible means a lot to me, but I don't want to get into specifics.
even to cite a verse that
No,
you like.
I don't want to do that.
You're an Old Testament guy or a New Testament guy?
Probably equal. I think it's just an incredible. The whole Bible is an incredible. I joke very much so. They always hold up the Art of the Deal. I say my second favorite book of all time. But I just think the Bible is just something very special.
Okay.
Wow. You really shouldn't need an interpreter for this. But just for some of you, like most of you are just fake and you know it, and you're just frauds. And I'm just here to call you out. But some of you really are like incapable of understanding very basic concepts. So let me spell it out for you. Donald Trump knows absolutely nothing about the Bible. Nothing. Clearly. There are various quotes. I haven't dug them all up. He mispronounced one of the more important fucking passages in the Bible. He has just made certain passing remarks about the Bible, obviously because he just craves power and he's trying to use it to fucking like latch on to the Bible's ability to fucking indoctrinate people. So he's using that as like a way to grab power. It's what fascists have always done. Like it's basic history, people. And here it goes again. Lack of education. So that is pretty much my entire, that's my case, I guess. I could go even further. I could go on and fucking on, but it's almost 30 minutes already. I think I've done enough. Yeah, there's no such thing as a fucking right-wing Christian. They do not exist. They're fake. They're tribal people that are trying to make the nation, and oftentimes being white, like the most important thing. If you actually believed in Christianity, you wouldn't believe that white people are special. By the way, Jesus Christ was not white. Like obvious as fuck. Yeah, you're trying to hijack something that has a whole lot of followers in order to gain fake momentum. And only really stupid people are falling for it. Thank you for your time.